Good morning, everyone out there listening today. It's a wonderful day. We woke up, so it's beautiful sunshine, beautiful sunshine. So I always say when I wake up, I say, thank God for letting me see this beautiful day, because you guys have to remember, tomorrow is not promised to any of us. So this is a wonderful day. My name is Dr. Thelma Scott, and I'm the founder and CEO and host of S.A.F.E Communities Podcast /ACN radio station. Today we're going to be talking about some great things for you guys. So I'm glad that you guys are listening today. But first, I just want to say it is always a privilege to have the opportunity to connect with you, educate our community, share important information, and talk about issues that affect our families, right? Here at S.A.F.E Communities, we believe that strong communities are informed communities, right? And we believe in education, advocacy, empowerment, and action, right? We take action. So important. Today, we have a very important show planned for you. We are going to reflect on America's 250th anniversary. Did y'all know that? This is 250th anniversary. They're going to be reflecting on that today. Talk about World Population Day. We're going to have very important conversation about environmental justice. That's very important. And the documentary about gaslit. Please go and see that movie. It is beautiful. You want to know more about environmental climate, just go and see Gaslight. That's directed by the one and only Jane Fonda. And I was honored to meet her. And guess what? I'm in the movie. I'm just marching, holding a banner, but I'm in the movie. All right, I just want to say that. And also, later in the program, we will also be talking about emotional awareness. That's so important. And I'm so honored to have our important host that talks about that. Every week we're going to be talking about so important that you need to listen to Miss Davis, because she's going to tell you the emotion, what you're supposed to do and not supposed to do. So that's very, very, very important. It's talking about emotion awareness, disability related to observance during July, self-care, right? Human trafficking awareness, right? National Ice Cream Day. National Ice Cream Day. I know everybody that like ice cream because I love ice cream. And some important upcoming community events. That's going to be coming from the one and only, our newest co-host, Miss Davis, Miss Helen Davis. Y'all know her, right? Y'all know her. She's very serious about what she's talking about, right? Okay, just want to say that. Joining me today and my co-host, my friends and strong advocate, I want to say that, for children, families, behavior, and community wellness. The one and only, you guys, y'all know her? Y'all know her? The one and only. I turn over to my co-host, one and only, as I say. I'm looking at her. Okay, Miss Helen Davis, take it away.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what you got planned for today.
Well,
all right?
We have a huge line of things we're going to be talking about today.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Helen Harper Davis, and I am the CEO and founder of Agape Substance Abuse Program, as well as the Chief Executive Officer of Special Kids Incorporated. We are located here in the city of Houston, and we have been partnering with S.A.F.E Communities for over 30 years, providing services of advocacy, community events to families here in the Houston area. Today, again, we're gonna do our segment on the sound mind as wellness, but we're also gonna be talking about that Gaslit movie that Dr. Scott and I was able to see last night. I tell you, it was just profound. And I hope that you guys get to see it, but we're going to tell you a little bit more about it later on. But next, I'd like to present our co-host, Miss Maribel Sunshine Rodriguez.
Bring sunshine.
Good morning, everyone, on this beautiful, amazing, lovely day. I hope everyone is having an amazing time. And thank you for joining us today. It is a pleasure and honor to serve as one of the co-hosts here for this inspiring S.A.F.E Communities podcast. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we have today in regards to being engaged with our topics.
Right.
And also letting y'all know about our future upcoming event on July 18th. So we need everyone's support
Right.
to be able to have an amazing time with the students receiving their scholarships and to continue being able to bless students. With that being said, I'm Sunshine Rodriguez with Sunshine Personnel Solutions. I specialize in staffing. I am owner and CEO of Sunshine Personnel Solutions. For the past 12 years, I have been able to bless many people with employment opportunities versus employers with great top talents. So all across Houston, outside of the city and the state. So, and also being a part of S.A.F.E communities for the past year as a board member. It has brought joy to my heart to be able to collaborate and bring companies on board to support with sponsorships, scholarships for students, you know, transitioning from high school to college and also to continue to finish their degree in college. So thank you for everyone that has supported throughout this journey. And we are celebrating our 26 years this year with S.A.F.E Communities.
Yes.
So we are looking for everyone's support. Thank you once again.
All righty. Thank you, Miss Sunshine, for that beautiful message. Now I'm going to turn it back over to Miss Helen because she has some more stuff that she want to talk about. But we're not going to talk about our programming. We talk about that at the end. But right now, Miss Helen, she's going to talk about the sound mind because you know what? It is so very important because on yesterday, I didn't say anything about it. On yesterday, I had went to the store and I met this lady and she was so energetic, right? She was just so energetic and so I was getting gas and she said, "You look like you help people." I said, "I do?" She said, "I just look like that." I said, "Oh," I said, "You know what?" I said, "I help people." I didn't know I look like I help people. She said, "You look like you help people." She said, "You have that smile and that kind of that little walk with you." When I was coming here to get my gas, and she said, "And you changed my day." She said, "What I want to do today is I want to pay for your gas." I said, "You want to pay for my gas?" She said, "I want to pay for your gas and I want to buy you anything you want to snack on in the store." I said, "You know, today I said just be gas." You know, it's amazing. That's what I'm saying. You always smile. I always have a energetic about yourself when you're out about. Because I just walked in the store. She was paying for her gas, and she said that I look like I help people. I said, "Oh, I do." I said, "I really do." I said, "I help kids to go to college and I find them throughout their career." I said, "Our program is from kindergarten to college." She said, "Oh, I love that. I love it." She said, "You made my day. And I want to pay for your gas." I said, "You want to pay for my gas?" I said, "That's all right. I can pay for my gas." She said, "No, I want to pay for your gas." She said, "You made my day." She said, "Don't make me lose my blessing today, ma'am. I'm paying for your gas." I said, "Go ahead. Pay for the gas." So you pay for my gas. And that was I just stepped into the store. Just a blessing, right? Because I always want. And she gave me a big hug, and I gave her a big hug. And I said, "Well, you take care." I said, "You blessed me." She said, "No, you blessed me with that smile on your face." So that's what I tell people. Always have a smile on your face and tell somebody hello. When I walked over, she was in front of me at first. I said, "How you doing today, ma'am?" She just turned around and said, "Look at you." She said, "You look like you help people." I said, "Oh," because I was smiling. I said, "Oh, I do." I said, "But I do help people." So as I always say good morning, good evening, whatever. She said, because every smile, you guys, every smile is not a good smile. Every smile is not a happy smile. That's why it's so important that I love my friend, Miss Helen Davis, because she tell you about the sound mind and tell you about these emotions, you know, that you need to be. Because you never know what a person is going through with, right? You never know. Because people are suffering in mental health, silence mental health, hidden. You can tell what they're going through. They can put on a very good show. So I'm going to let her talk about a sound mind and about how you smile and how your emotions are and how you're supposed to take them 3 breaths before you say something. You don't want to say nothing that you're sorry for later. So take them 3 breaths. And I have to talk to my family about that as well. All right? Miss Davis, take it away.
Well, today's segment is about your feelings have a voice.
Yeah, yes.
Our feelings and our emotions give us
Right.
signals
Right.
of what's going on with us internally and how we're thinking.
Right.
And sometimes we can ignore it because we've been just kind of
Right.
used to just not, saying anything or stuffing our feelings. But I want to share with you today that at the beginning of this conversation, we want to talk about emotional wellness.
Right.
Being able to be well emotionally is huge. And we have to learn it because it is learned, because we learn how to talk, we learn how to walk, we learn how to respond to these uncomfortable feelings based off our environment, our family.
Right.
And so I found myself having to reteach myself some things in this lifetime that I've lived, because some of the things that I learned were not the best coping skills. And so being able to understand my emotions and how those emotions impact the decisions that I make, how I think, what I think about myself and the world around me, is what I want to talk about today. So I'm going to take these glasses off because I can't read a thing with them on. What I want to talk about is when we learn the language of our emotions, the language of our emotions, we're able to give it a voice. We're able to speak it out. We're able to share how we're feeling.
He mentioned that again, Miss Davis. You said the language. It gives us what?
It gives us the ability to be able to share our feelings with other people, and also to be able to respond differently in terms of whatever's happening to us or with us at the time. And we can, instead of reacting, we can respond appropriately. We talked about reacting last week. How reacting is an emotional, automatic response, and it's not. Generally doesn't lead to something good. We end up yelling and screaming and cutting up and acting crazy.
But say that again. Your voice have what?
Your feelings have a voice.
Your feelings have a voice. So y'all remember that
voice.
Your feelings do have a voice. Feelings, because I know my feelings is very easily hurt. Right? You said the wrong thing to me, and I might take it wrong. So it has a voice.
And one of the things about saying the wrong thing to me and taking it wrong means is I'm reacting instead of responding.
Right.
So we want to respond, right?
Right.
We want to respond. We have, we talked about that word calm.
Right, calm.
Calm means counting to 10.
Right.
Asking for help. Looking for a solution. And making a good choice.
Right.
Counting to 10. Asking for help. Looking for a solution and making a good choice, because this gives me time to really think about what's really going on. That automatic response could lead me in too many different directions. Some of them with consequences that I might be having to deal with for a long time, and breaking in relationships. I might even get in trouble with the law behind the reaction. But if we respond appropriately to something, it gives us time to really dissect and think instantly. Okay, is this a serious thing? Do I need to actually deal with this? Do I need to just move on and let it go? How do I respond appropriately so that I won't get into any kind of trouble? Because I don't really like consequences that are negative. I like benefits, but no consequences. Okay. So,
and on a note, we have to be mindful, because just like Ms. Scott stated, she's emotional.
Right, very emotional.
You never know how people are going to react. There's people that are very emotional, like Ms. Scott, and will take offense, in regards to what somebody states or how they say, how you approach people.
How you approach
we have to always be mindful of our actions and how we speak to people as well.
And that's a good point, Sunshine, because a lot of times we tend to, it's okay, I'm going to say it's okay for us to think about ourselves, but we also need to be thinking about how our responses or reactions are affecting other people. And so this is why it's very important for us to really actually understand our own emotions, and understand how those emotions are affecting other people. And my emotions are affected, but my actions towards something that happened to me.
Something happened.
It may impact me negatively and other people negatively as well. Because let's realize it. I'm me, and I have a whole family behind me, right? I have friends, I have church members, I have all these people who I represent, right? And I'm not just representing me when I'm sitting here. I'm representing everything, my ancestors. I'm representing my children, my sisters and my cousins, my nieces and nephews, everybody. Right? And so when we are looking at the self. We have to look at ourselves being that we're not just individuals, but we have communities that are behind us. And so us being able to recognize how individually how we're feeling, and be able to verbalize those things and respond appropriately is huge. Being able to have a sound mind, because believe it or not, being an emotional person, that's the reason. It was one of the things that got me into this field, because I just seem like sometimes I just carry everything.
Emotion too. I carry it on my shoulder.
I carry everything. But I found out that it's okay for me to have the emotions and carry those things, but I have to know where to put those, package them right, so they can
pack
be
them in the place,
in the right place that they need to be used in an appropriate way. It's a time for us to be angry.
Right.
There's a time for us to be happy and sad and happy. There's a time for us to celebrate and be surprised and excited. There's a certain time for that, but if that's an all the time thing, that I'm not really regulating my emotions and I'm all over the map, I can be here one minute and there the next. I may have bipolar disorder, but at the same time,
that's why we have to expect the unexpected. And we have to learn how to manage our own emotions and the way we react, because there's people out there that at times will say something that doesn't make any sense and that will trigger someone. Just let's work on our emotions, not to react with a quick reflex where it's going to affect and have consequences as well, just like you stated.
So I want to bring up one other thing, and then we're going to close out this part of the segment, because I want to get to that Gaslit movie. Oh my God, I really do. It was different things that we have to think about whenever we're talking about our emotions, and I lost my place here, so I'm just going to speak from my heart. When we're looking at giving our emotions a voice, we're looking at the way that again, the way that we communicate it, but also the way that communication is not just verbal, it's nonverbal too. So our emotional cues can be how we look on our face, the tension that we feel in our body. I was just driving yesterday and I was wondering why my shoulders were so tight. I said, oh my God, let me just relax and calm down, because I don't even know what I was anxious about, and I was anxious about something. And so I was like, okay, and those things, when we talk about that, it can be really serious, because we can cause ourselves to get sick. You thinking about you got high blood pressure and all that kind of stuff. It's because you.
But I got a story about that.
And I had to give my emotional voice. I had to take the time to figure out what was going on, and I was anxious. I had some anxiety about something. Rightfully so, but at the same time, I needed to put that in some other perspective and not let it be something that had me driving around holding the steering wheel like this, and I didn't even realize it. So this is why it's so important. I'm telling you, this is an everyday thing. It's not something that you can just talk about on this show and that's it. No, this is things that we live out throughout our day, and being able to recognize and change those things will be in the world for how we're treating our self-care. One of the things about one of the awareness for this month is self-care. So self-care. Being able to take care of yourself and your emotional well-being is important. So this is what I'm gonna give you this takeaway. Again, to use this acronym CALM. CALM is what? C is the counting down to 10, count to 10. 5, whatever you need to count to at that point. Sometimes you gotta count to 20. But count down so that you can give yourself a chance to breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out. Sometimes people don't even know how to breathe. I'll be catching them breathing like this. That's not breathing. Breathing. The A is what? Asking for help. Because sometimes I might even understand what's going on, and so I need to ask them for help. Could mean me asking myself questions about what's going on, what's causing me to feel the way I'm feeling, and then I need to ask somebody else. I might have a question. Do you think that I might have a thought going through my head, and I say, Sunshine, what do you think about this? And get feedback. I'm getting feedback from somebody else. Then I'm looking for a solution. I'm not staying stuck in a problem. Sometimes people stay stuck in their problem, like, they just milking the negativity over in their mind over and over again. That is not a good thing. You have to get to the positive part of that. What outcome do you want to see from that's going to be good for you and anyone else who's involved? Let
me tell my story about yesterday. Well, yesterday is that we have the coffee and tea, and Maribel always come late. Everybody listening, she always come late. But anyway, we partner with the company that's in the building, with the people do the men health and wellness, right? So they do it every Tuesday night. So did my blood pressure. I'm already knowing my blood pressure is high. It's high all the time, right? Because it's hereditary in my family. So yesterday, my blood pressure, you guys, it was 238 over 110. it was high. But I know my body, I know my blood pressure. When I got through taking the breath, Sean said, Miss Scott, I think you need to go to the urgent care. No, ma'am. I would not go to no urgent care. I know my body, right? And I know my blood pressure is high. It's always high time to bring it down. But I can handle it. She said, how you even standing up? But one thing that I do know, that God is taking care of me. She said, she said, you about to have a stroke. Your blood pressure is 238, Miss Scott, over 110. That's okay, right? Because it's high all the time. I'm used to that. They was flipping out. My daughter and granddaughter was flipping out, right? But they made me have anxiety, and it was going to go up. And I know my blood pressure. And I said, well, if y'all just take it, I know my solution. I haven't eaten today. I haven't eaten. And then I drank coffee. And that's going to make my blood pressure go up. And so they kept at me, and I was really getting upset, right? So I had to do them 3 breaths. I had to walk away from them. I had to breathe 3 times. Because they kept telling me, I'm going to the emergency room, right? I'm going to urgent care. I said, I've never in my life, I'm going to be 76 years, I've never, and I've been sick all of my life, you guys. I have never went to urgent care, emergency room and went home. Never. Never. That's why I ain't going there. That's just me and Jesus. So, and I understand what you're saying, Miss Davis. Because all of them was coming at me, and I was about to let them have it, so I had to walk away from them and do them 3. I was going to go off on my daughter, my granddaughter, everybody was there. About 6 of them coming at me. I was ready to go off.
They can create a lot of anxiety.
Yeah, it was going up more because I said, y'all need to leave me alone. I know my body, right? Well, you're going to go and Santa Scott. Nah, I love you so much. You going to the emergency room. I said, I love you too, but I ain't going to no emergency room, no urgent care, no nothing. And I walked around there, put up stuff in there, and I was fine because I know I know my body better than anybody, right? I know I have high blood pressure. I know I've had a stroke, I've had a heart attack and all. I know that. When I got through, I went somewhere and sit down, but they was making it worse. Y'all coming at me, listen here, because I'll just go off. But
you know,
thank God for you, Miss Davis, because I didn't go off yesterday. I did them 3 breaths. I went in my office and I walked away from them. I had to.
And you have to protect your peace in that way. Sometimes.
I walked away. I had to.
You know, and people have good intentions. You know, they wasn't trying. You know, they was thinking that was the best, but. Right. You know, because you could feel those cues of where you were getting more and more anxious about it.
That's why I walked away.
Mm-hmm. You had to make a decision to walk away and then go calm down somewhere. Use that word calm.
That's what I did. I went somewhere and calm down. That's what I did.
Breathe, focus.
Breathe, and make a good decision about it. Look for a solution. A solution for that was just to let them move on, say what they had to say, and you go sit down somewhere.
Because they pushed me, they would have set me really off. I would have really went off. But I walked away. Mm-hmm. Thank God for your message, because I walked away and went and calmed myself down. Right.
And that's what we have to do internally. Internally, we can feel when things are going.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And we have to pay attention to those, but then we also have to make a decision to decide what we're going to do with that. Am I going to continue to let the negativity take over, or am I going to find a solution that's going to be comparable to a positive outcome?
My solution was to walk away and calm down and talk to them. I said, now we're not going to talk about my blood pressure anymore. We're going to finish today with the coffee and tea. And then Maribel came, she comes and lighten everybody up because we have to do went through the boomerang and take pictures until my blood pressure was fine out there. But I had to walk away. So it's the very point I had to walk away and calm myself down because they was getting me to, my anxiety was this high, right? It was too high and I was about to explode, so I had to walk away. I made that decision to walk away and calm myself down. That was very important to do that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
3 breaths.
Any examples you have of that, Maribel?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we deal with all types of human beings, and people have a different mindset and different reaction. And so we deal with a lot of employees as well as employers.
Yeah, tell them about that story. I'll tell Maribel, because Maribel, a couple months ago, Maribel was getting upset. I said, Maribel, calm down. No, I need them to pay me right now. I'm not going to be doing this work. I'm not going to work for free. I said, Maribel, calm down, calm down. She was going off. But
we have different reactions because, our clients have expectations from us.
Right.
And we have expectations as well in return. Like, let's provide our services but let's get paid.
Right.
And as far as we have to be very consistent in paying our employees on time. So whether we get paid by an employer, we still have to diligently pay our employees weekly. Some of them get paid bi-weekly, but most of them get paid weekly. So yes,
but she went off, you guys. She went off. She said, "No, they ain't gave me my check. I gotta pay my employees." I said, "Mary, calm down, Mary, calm down. I need to pay my employees."
But that might have been her inventing to you. She probably been using the ask for help part right there.
Yes,
so
I did. I said, "Calm down, Mary Bell. Calm down." She said, "I need to pay my employees. They ain't give me my check yet."
This is a perfect example. So what do we have to do in this case? We have to diversify the way we bring in revolving capital. That way we don't depend on one client, two clients, three clients. We have, variety of clients that we can, work with.
That's a whole nother topic. She's talking about diversifying your
yes. So this is when we find different ways.
Diversify your revenue.
And that's a whole new show, whole new podcast. All right, a whole new podcast.
I love those topics too because I'm a business owner as well. So definitely
that's how I control my emotions. Getting more clients.
More clients.
Because you've been into me. I said, "Mary, you gotta calm down, Mary." No.
I think sometimes, Dr. Scott, it's good for us to vent, especially the people that we trust. Because one of the things about emotional wellness is that our community, the people that, we have a core people that we trust with information.
Right.
You got these few people that you can really talk to about something. And even if I'm upset, my core people can help me calm down, but I still can say what I need to say and have that be a safe space for me to do that. Even if I'm going off the hinges, I can still do that in that space. But still, when I come out of there, there's a time for me to make a good choice about what I'm going to do because I've gotten a chance to do that, in a safe space, and then be able to come out with a solution for how it's going to be good. Now I'm just saying, okay, this is what I'm going to do, based upon the feedback that I got from the people who are in my core, it's okay to have that vent time. That's why I'm not even upset with her going off because she didn't go off on her client. She went off. She went off in her venting session.
In her venting session, but her blood pressure going. I said, "Calm down, Mary Bell. Calm down. Her blood pressure going."
If everyone knows,
and she's ready to fight you guys.
People know me. I always have a smile. I'm a happy person. 24/7.
But you're human, and you want your money.
If you want to trigger me,
but Mary Bell, you happy all the time. But they was messing with your money, so you wasn't happy.
She got to pay bills. So.
Yes, but I do know how to control my emotions. I'm very professional. But that's going back to the emotion. But you don't get the professional
business if you don't pay her money, okay? I appreciate that because that's your truth. That's your truth,
Yeah, that's right. That's
when
the
we're
truth.
talking about giving our feelings, emotions, giving our feelings a voice, that's a voice. You're saying that it's not okay for you not to pay me. I need my money, and it's not okay for you to at me.
But she was bidding to me, even though, like I said, but she's running up her blood pressure. I understand what
Which I don't have blood pressure, and I ended up with high blood pressure.
It's not okay to when I set a boundary that I'm okay. Let me take some time to calm down somewhere for people to still come at me.
But it takes a lot. In my case, it takes a lot for someone to trigger me. What I do, I distance myself. We're gonna get along just fine.
But
because we only have 24 hours of the day.
That's all you got.
And during those 24 hours, we have to be productive.
Right.
We have to make sure we eat. We have to make sure we sleep. And there's no time for negativity. That's going to raise our high blood pressure and medical issues. And you know what? Let's control our emotions. So that's a great tip for the world, for everyone. Just enjoy life.
Right.
Not everyone. You don't have to have a quick reflex on everyone's
every little thing.
Actions. Yes. So
guess what? Let me tell you, life. Let's put it in perspective. It's 10% of what happened and 90% of how we responded to it.
That's
absolutely.
That's right.
So
10%. So 10% is not a lot. 10% of what happened, and then 90%, the other
is how we react.
Lump is how I reacted to it.
Don't let people trigger you out there. Just enjoy life, and there's a solution to everything.
But if you get triggered, count to 10. Ask for help, look for solutions, and make a good decision.
Right.
Absolutely.
I calmed her down, you guys. She said, no, Miss Scott, I'm not working for free. I need my money. Okay, Mary Bell, calm down, And I understand what you understand.
I understand that.
Mary Bell Good don't mess with her money.
Especially you got people that pay and they depend on you for the coins.
Absolutely.
But Dr. Scott, you know what? I want to talk about this Gaslit movie.
Oh, the Gaslit. Okay, go ahead. See, I've seen it 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 times. You talk about it.
I saw it last night, and I had already done a little bit of research.
Oh, did you? Oh.
I did.
But it was amazing, wasn't it?
I talked about it.
It was amazing, wasn't it?
It was.
I missed it.
I don't know if I want to say amazing because.
But we're going to go Thursday.
Because
it's at 12 o'clock.
amazing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say my real feeling was traumatized.
Traumatized. Oh, you traumatized. Okay.
Because I did not realize
Right.
how vast
Mm-hmm.
this issue of climate change,
Environmental
justice,
Right.
and overall, just how about we just put communities that have been impacted by the industries
And been destroyed.
in which we have, they've been impacted in a way that's not even, you can't, it's no words for it. It's hard for me to even put a word on it.
Right.
I really don't have a word. One
Right.
word cannot describe this.
Right.
So I really want to talk about, for you, Dr. Scott.
Okay.
What has it been like? You've been working with the Texas Campaign for the Environment and other environmental organizations for a while now, right?
CCU, yeah, I've been working with them. I've been doing this for the last 15 years. Been an advocate for environmental and climate justice, yes.
And why did you decide to become an activist? Because you've been
because
more than an advocate, you've been an activist.
An
Out here
activist.
marching and carrying on.
I've been activist because of my health, because what I have endured in my lifetime, right? When I was from 5 to 12,
Right.
I had leukemia, some kind of rare leukemia that my brother.
And where was you living at when this was going on?
I grew up in Missouri County.
Missouri County.
I grew up in Missouri County in Angleton, Texas, and we lived near the tracks. But I had this rare leukemia that I had to have a blood transfusion every month. If I didn't, I would have died. I didn't understand it back then because I would cry all the time because that's why I'm afraid of needles. Now I'm 75 years old, I'm afraid of needles today. I had to sit there and let the punch the needle in and get the blood transfer from my brother, right? Which is, he's passed away. But he had to give me that blood transfusion every month. I can understand 'cause I thought they would have me going to them needles because I was a bad girl. I thought I was a bad. But I wasn't bad. It was to save my life. I would cry. I said, I won't go to the hospital today. That's why I hate hospitals. I hate hospitals. But I said, I won't go to the hospital today. They're going to stick needles in me. But I had to not realize as I got older, it was to save my life. I had to have that blood transfusion. I had to have it.
And it was
For how long?
I had to have it from 5 to 12. About 6 years. And I found it when I got 15 or so, I grew out of it. I didn't have to have them anymore, right? But then I always became sick. But then after that, when I became 30, I had got breast cancer. I've been dealing with illness all the time. I had a stroke, I had a heart attack. I've had all illness. I have dealt with all this illness all of my life, and I never figured out what it was. Because my brother's son, right, at 14 years old, he was in junior high, and he fell dead with a heart attack. So we really didn't know at the time. He was 14, he fell dead at 14 years old at Angleton Middle School, right? And that was the turn up, because we didn't really even realize about pollution in the air, how it could affect your body. We didn't know about it then. But he'd been dead for like 40-some years, right? And that is, so I became an advocate. It's the last time that when I had the heart attack, and then at the time I met Reverend James Caldwell, and he said, you dealing with all these health problems. Could be because of pollution in the air. You need to become an advocate. People didn't know your story till you have a very important story. So that's how I got involved with Reverend James Caldwell. He invited me to was a big conference in Atlanta, and I went with our ex-Vice President Al Gore. I followed them around a lot of years with Reverend Caldwell, and I learned how the environmental and how the climate just can affect your health. And I was losing all of my family members. They were just dying and dying. So that's how I got involved. It's because what happened to me and my family, right? Growing up in Missouri County.
Right.
Losing my families. And understand, but I had to know, what I taught myself first was the acronym. Because I couldn't ask somebody to follow me to know the acronym. So I had to know what EPA was, TCEQ, LNG, methane. I had to learn all of that, right? So I educated myself in order to educate people in the community.
So let me ask you this, because this is something that I feel like is important. When you were in the the part where you were in the documentary where you all were marching.
Marching.
What were you marching for? What was that about?
We're marching for clean air, clean water, and a healthy environment.
Where were you? I mean, why were you there?
We was in New Orleans. That was the energy summit.
The energy summit.
The energy summit in New Orleans. That was January 16, I think, to 17 and 19 or something. They have the conference in New Orleans every year, but we wanted them to hear our voices to let us know that we are dying. But the bottom line of all that you see is, bottom line of it is, we're trying to save lives. We are marching and holding them accountability for the rules and regulations that EP has put in place. You heard how they violate them. They'll pay $1 billion, $2 or $3 billion, and they're gonna do it again. Because it's about money. They're making money. But we can never get rid of oil and gas, because oil and gas is our livelihood.
Everything.
We can't live without it. But they can release that properly. They don't release it. They don't release it properly. That's what's killing us. We're just trying to hold them to, because we can never do without oil and gas. Somebody asked me, why are you fighting against oil and gas? I said, we're not fighting against oil and gas. Like I asked when I was on the panel, anybody in here can live without oil and gas? No, we can't. It's our everyday lives, right? We have to have oil, and we have to have gas. So what are we fighting for? Provided by the rules and regulations EPA put in place, where you won't kill us, right? Because if they release it, you saw how they release it, not right.
Right.
What's in the pollution air, it's going to kill us.
The concern that I'm having, though, is that the companies are getting bigger and bigger.
And bigger,
And they're pushing the families out of the communities
out
that
of
they
houses.
have.
Right.
They literally have taken over
Good sector.
big parts of the community, especially in Missouri County, where the man was talking about where his family home used to be, and they had that land for 30 years, and they just took the land from them. They didn't ask for it, they didn't pay for it, they took it.
And they had a right to do that.
They were homeless,
They had a right to do that. Because they're very powerful.
They only have a right to do it because of
the laws, because the laws is in place. If they can do that, because the laws that's in place. So that's why that we have to fight for clean air and clean water and healthy environment. And that is not
that's
easy.
going all across the Gulf Coast area.
Right.
Based off the documentary, they talked a lot about the Texas Gulf Coast and the Louisiana Gulf Coast, and how it's affecting our fishing industry. It's affecting the education system. It's affecting literally every aspect of our lives.
Right.
And so for me, living in a community that's not too far from there, because I actually live in Missouri County.
Because you live in Missouri County, so you getting some not clean air.
and that has been happening for a while,
Right.
And so but I feel like what do you think for us as a community we need to be doing now, because we can't do nothing about what already happened,
right?
But we can definitely do something different now.
We can come together. We're better strong. We come together and educate people about clean air, clean water, and a healthy environment, right? That's very important, but we have to educate, and that's what I do every time that I have an event. I'm going to talk about it, because it's educating. It's educating, because education is the key. And knowledge about what's going on. Don't look at it as a negative. Look at it as a positive, because if you hadn't lost anybody in your family, that you have lost a child or anything like that, then you may not understand. But you have to be able to know that we're only fighting to save lives.
And what about the young people? We have, a whole generation of young people that are coming up that may not necessarily understand any of this. They may not understand anything about LNG, petrochemicals, emissions, extractions, infractions, all those things that are going on, what even fracking is about. I didn't even know what the actual fracking process was.
But now you understand what it is now.
And it was very devastating. Again, I'll say that word. To see that's a lot of reasons why our heat index is so high.
Right.
The heat index is so high because our atmosphere is actually being traumatized all day long, every day.
Right.
And it's been happening for years. So, with that said, I want to know, if we what do you think will happen if we as a community continue to ignore what's going on?
No, we have to be able to come together, and we have to fight for them to do the right thing about us, because we're dying, and we want them to understand that
You know,
we're dying every day.
You know, when I say ignore, I think it's more not ignore like, oh, I see it happening, but I'm not gonna do nothing about it. It's ignore like we don't understand. We don't know that we need to.
Everybody, but everybody.
We don't know what questions to ask. What
would be
questions
your
do we need
best
to ask?
advice for the
Everybody
generation?
don't.
Right.
Everybody don't understand really what's going on. They have to be able to be educated in order to follow us. You know, like Jane Fonda said, and I thank her so much for making this movement. But like she said, we need you. We need everybody to come together and fight for the right thing, and that is to save lives, is to hold them to the accountability of this, because they keep increasing, and they getting richer and richer, and we dying, and they put all of these refineries in the black and brown communities, for one, right? And that is something that we're fighting to stop it. We marched in what we believe. Now, what we believe, that we're marching to save lives.
And so,
Right.
one last thing is that, you know, we have this big data center thing coming up now. You heard about the data centers.
Pros and cons with it.
Yes.
Oh my God, we do need to look at the history of data centers being as it relates to this technology movement that we're in. We're in a technology
Right.
evolution. And so, and that's this technology evolution is causing us to need places to house the technology data
Right.
that's being collected, right? So this is where these data centers are coming in at.
But it's going to take up our water,
It's going to take up what?
and
And it's going to take up what else?
our electricity.
And so all of the
It's gonna go up,
resources
too.
that we need to survive.
But a lot of people don't know about the data centers. They just hearing about it. They've been around.
It's been around.
But they all over.
You know what?
Right.
I remember watching a movie where they had this big old building where all they had was computers in it.
Right.
That was years ago.
Years ago,
So that
right.
means this has been going on for way longer than I even knew about.
That you
up
know
until
about, right. See,
recently.
people don't know
And
about those
honestly,
data centers.
I'm gonna be transparent. I really just understood data centers in the last couple of weeks.
Right.
I didn't even understand.
Did you know about it, Mary?
In the
They
last
have to
couple of
have.
weeks.
They have to have the water. They have to have the electricity. Then you heard about Chloe.
look
Chloe.
what-
You heard what Chloe was talking about in Corpus Christi.
Right.
Their water is running out. Not water. It's water, drinking water that they need to drink. Not
Yes.
the other water for the community, but water to drink.
She said 6% of their water is being used for industry.
That's right. 6% of that water.
That's a lot of water.
That's in Corpus Christi.
To be 60% of their
Their
water
water.
source is being used for energy.
That's
to
right.
run these corporations.
To run a corporation. That's right. It is, and that's what she's talking about. We just trying to
And
be
it's
able
being
to.
polluted. It's
Polluted.
being used, and so
Over and
this
over.
is the thing that I want. That's why I wanted to like say, you know, because we work with families and children with disabilities. And
Yes,
special
right.
kids. You work with youth. You work with the parents. You know, so
Right.
we have to figure out how we're going to get this information to our families. You know, in a way that they understand it, because they may not understand all of
Right.
LNG and
They don't.
A, B, and C and all
They
that,
don't.
all these acronyms. But how can we bring it down to a level where we can get a youth group,
Right.
a youth group that is younger, that can actually be like I'm envisioning.
Well, we have a lot of youth groups, and we have a very important youth group that's in Corpus Christi, and they're coming this year because they've grown so big.
Right.
They're going to be here in
And when are they
Houston.
gonna be here? You
And they're going
know?
to be August 1st is the conference.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So they're going to be, and I'm going to be working
So
with
it's
that.
already established.
Yes, it's already established.
So,
but they're coming from Corpus Christi.
that's what I'm trying to say. It's already
No,
established.
it's
in
on
Corpus
here too.
Christi.
It's some more data center. I kind of work with them. But I don't have all their names, but we can get
Right.
together.
Well,
but
that's what I'm
it's
saying. We got to have this.
I haven't got
movement.
all the information, but it's going to be here in Houston.
Yeah, because I'm getting
Wait,
up in
let's see
age. You're getting up in age. You're
Right.
getting up in age. We need our next generation to be fighting for
Right.
their livelihood.
And,
you know?
and that's what we're trying to do, is get our next generation to become
To fight.
activists for environmental and climate justice.
And if it's nothing else that we can do but to educate and empower.
Mm-hmm.
Educate and empower. I think that the big gap, big gap, and this is probably going to be the last thing I say. The big
Now he
gap.
said, now it's going to start, but listen, I know Alex, our mom, Alex is working with I can't see it, but this is when it is. Maybe you can read it. Because I need to, for you to read it on there. I
Okay.
can't see it. Can you read
Right,
it?
so it says, save the date. Join us for the 5th annual Gulf of Mexico Youth Climate Summit.
Right.
This Youth Climate Summit is going to be August 1st.
Yes.
It doesn't have a location just yet.
Not yet. We were working on it.
But save that
Just to
date.
save the date.
So the save the date is August 1st, which is coming up
Right.
in a few weeks, guys.
In a few
Coming
weeks.
up, the liberation of the Gulf, the fight against fossil fuel imperialism.
Right.
Now, that's a big thing.
That's a big
And
word.
we have youth that's doing this, so I'm definitely going youth climate summit. I love it.
Yeah.
Gulf of Mexico Youth Climate Summit. Even though we don't even call it the Gulf of Mexico anymore, it's called what? The Gulf of America.
And
Okay.
you will be sharing that on the social media.
Yeah.
Right,
We're
so
gonna
we
be
need
sharing
to go
on
ahead and
all
save the
social
date.
media.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to send that to me so I can put it in my newsletter.
Okay, I will
And,
send it to you.
and
Okay.
then we're gonna try to see if we can get some youth from our organizations.
From
to
our
go
organizations to go.
participate.
We need for them to go to the conference.
Because
Yes.
we definitely want to educate them. All we need is one spark. It only takes one person with fire to touch another person.
Right.
And so your
Right.
information that you have looking at this podcast today, you can share that information with somebody that you know. All you have to do is click the share button and
Right.
send it.
And
And the
yes.
information will be
Right.
out there. Send it to 10 people. That way you can save. If you don't know how to communicate it, you can say, because we're going to be talking about environmental stuff. We have been talking about
Right.
environmental justice a lot on the podcast, and we're going to be bringing it up more as we continue on and trying to impact our community in a positive way.
It's going to be showing tonight at 7:15
At the River Oaks Theater.
And tomorrow it's going to be showing. The last time the show tomorrow is at noon tomorrow.
And at 12 tomorrow on Thursday at the River Oaks Theater. But they also have, if you live in other cities,
Right.
if you go on gaslit.com, they have a whole entire list of where they're going to be doing the showings, and it also talks about the history. And so if you
All right.
want to learn more about this, then please help get yourself educated and then help someone else understand
Someone else
as
get
well.
educated. Yeah.
This is how it's going to change. This is how it's going to change. One person at a time, one community at a time, one city at a time, one nation at a time.
Right.
Oh my God! Just go and watch the movie. It will tell you more than what I could even say today.
It's amazing, and I was just so honored to be able to meet Joan Fonda.
Jane.
I mean,
Jane.
Jane. She said, if I don't know,
Yeah,
you'd have been in this movie.
I wish I'd have been in the movie because she had a lot to say. But the lady is so real. Now I've watched Jane Fonda in a lot of movies.
Because she
But
grew up
really-
as
she
a
grew up
teenager.
and she was an activist. All these
all
things
these
that
lives,
we
all her
do.
life, she's activist. Yes,
But
from a teenager.
let's talk about what's our
We
time
have a few
frame?
more minutes.
A few more
We
minutes. So
still
we
need
can
to
do
speak
our
about our
events.
events.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's do
Go
our
ahead.
events.
Do our events. Okay.
Okay,
ahead.
so of course we are looking for people to support for the July 18th event.
Right.
And it's going to be an amazing event.
Right. Okay.
So the reason that we are helping students is to pursue higher education and career goals.
Yes.
We
Right.
want people to get motivated, not to transition from high school
To
to
college.
where am I going? What's ahead of me?
Right.
But we want them to feel comfortable because there's a lot of students that we support that are low income students, and when they get those scholarships, they get motivated.
Right. Yeah.
And so our job is to be able to reach out to the world and partner with different corporations,
Right.
individuals. You don't have to have a business. You could be an individual.
Individual. Yes.
Supporting, you do get the tax credit.
Right.
You get all the information, the W-9, whatever
Yeah.
we need to provide to be able to
A
give
tax
you.
letter. Right.
Yes. So also recognizing students, celebrating students.
Right.
12 years of going to school. That's
Right.
a lot.
That is.
Dedication.
Right.
And we have those students that are honor rolls, that are honor roll students, that are in
Right.
sports, and we want to continue supporting them,
Right.
motivating our
What day is
students.
that event on?
July 18th.
Mm-hmm.
It is on July 18th, and it's from what time to what time?
But it's from 11 to 2:30. But let me add this to this, Sunshine. Is you must register. It's on our website, www.safethenumber4community.org, because we have to know how much food to fix, because we're going to have a lot of kids there. But please register you and your kids. That's www.safethenumber4community.org. You must register. Go on the website, and at the top, it's going to say July 18 registration. Please register so we can have enough food for everybody. That's a
That's
must.
going to be coming soon, wasn't it?
July,
Not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
but next Saturday, July 18th, from 11 to 2:30 at Lone Star North Harris College. That's my alma mater, you guys. So please come and share this with us. It's 2700 W Thorn. When you turn at the red light, look for a building with the red top.
But don't come showing up if you haven't registered, okay?
Right.
So
Please
go on the
register.
website and register.
It's so easy. Just go on the register and register, right? And
Yes.
come and see the kids. So and so I was talking to my daughter, Delisa, about it because I'm so excited because our little kids said, "Oh, we finally got approved for our caps and gowns. All the kids gonna have on their caps and gowns." And I'm excited to see them. To get a picture with their caps and gowns, you guys. So it's gonna be a wonderful show. You don't want to miss it now.
You don't want to miss it.
Don't want to miss July 18th from 11 to 2:30. You don't want to miss it. You guys come out and support the kids because we want to see them graduate and let them grow up in there. I know last year we was on Deborah Duncan. They asked my grandson. My grandson's graduated. He's go to Arlington University in Arlington, Texas. And they asked him, they said, "Well, can you tell us, JJ, how long you been in the program?" He said, "I've been in this program all my life." He grew up in the program. So it's so good for the kids to grow up in the program.
Dreamers.
So you don't have to move them around. So we started baby dreamers, little dreamers, then we have our ambassadors, and then we have our college ambassadors. So kids grow up in the program. So they'll be well connected, and we follow them throughout their college career. No matter how long they're undergrad, we're there. They follow the criteria. Now I just want to say, Dr. Zenova Williams and Miss Pam Foot, now they're going to make sure you follow the criteria. Now, you don't get no check if you ain't follow the criteria, right? And then also every month we do essays. The kids do an essay every month, and the winners, we have at least 4 winners a month, and they get a $25 check, and at the end of the year, they're going to get their checks. They're going to get their essay and art checks, and they're going to get a scholarship check. So come and support us. Please come out and support these kids. It's going to be an amazing time, you guys. Right. And Sunshine, she is our executive host for the event, and I'm looking for her to invite some of them businesses that she got out there to give us some money.
Yes, we're inviting, so it's and you
Go
know
ahead.
what? S.A.F.E Communities has just a tremendous, amazing job throughout the 26 years in being in business.
Yes.
It is a nonprofit. We need everyone's support to continue creating opportunities for our students.
Yes.
And just like Ms. Scott stated, there's people that have been in this forever.
Right.
So we do cater to students that are in elementary,
Right.
middle
college.
school, high school, college. So we need everyone's support. And to become a member is only $10 a month. It's $120 per year.
Right.
There's also different levels of sponsorships.
Yes.
One of our top sponsors was $25,000 previous. Shout out to Noble. Shout out to HEB as well.
Sound to Nova, HEB, and
Yes.
also we want to
Centerpoint.
shout out to the Hershey Foundation. Is one of our new sponsors, so we want to give a shout out to them and thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for the Hershey Foundation for our sponsorship. And right now, after 18, we have some things that's coming up, you guys. So, Miss Helen Dave's going to tell you a little bit about what we got coming up on July the 30th. It's the 30th.
Yes, this is not a community invite though, but it is
No, it's
the
not a community
end
invite.
celebration. The celebration of our partnership with Yeet
Yes.
organization is the Youth Enriching and Youth Enriching Appetite Transformation
Appetite
Program.
Transformation.
There was Youth Enrichment Appetite Transformation Program.
Yeah, I get
They're
so mixed
having
up, but you got it. You got
their
it.
Summer celebration, and their kids are going to be coming out to a pool party, having a whole pool party, y'all.
And it's our environmental summer camp we've been doing all summer, right?
They've been doing the summer camp all summer, and they have been learning about the environment. They've learned social emotional wellness.
Yes.
They've also learned how to manage their emotions. They've also been having other activities like physical activity, all kinds of things, especially environmental. It was an environmental STEAM camp is what it was.
Yes.
And they've done a lot of work, and it's rounding itself up. And our end of the summer celebration is going to be on July the 30th. We're going to have it in one of our community areas. And of course, all of these things are made possible when people give and donate.
Right.
And our organizations can be stronger when we're supporting other organizations. So that's what Special Kids has done, and that's what S.A.F.E Community has done.
Right.
We've supported Yeet in bringing the summer program to our community. And it's definitely has been a great opportunity.
And I just want to say to Miss Tricia
Randolph
Randolph
and her team,
they have done a wonderful job.
Congratulations.
Y'all done a wonderful job.
Mm-hmm. And I want to invite everyone to our parent support group on the last Tuesday of the month. You can go to specialkids.com and get information about that, or you can call my office at 713-783-5437 to get the link for the Zoom. It's a virtual meeting.
Right.
We're having it, and it's going to be a training this month. So if you want to participate in any in learning how to advocate for your child with a disability, this will be an opportunity for you to do so. We have this parent support group on one Tuesday out of the month, on the end of the month, the last Tuesday. So please don't miss it, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there.
All right, and don't forget about our. We didn't have our Zoom meeting on the first Saturday because it was July 4th.
It was July the 4th.
But this Saturday is our workshop meeting on Zoom. Miss Helen Davis and I will be the speakers. She's going to be talking about sound mind. I'm going to be talking about environmental, and we also will be talking about hidden mental health. Like I was saying, we're talking about mental health. So we're going to be on there Saturday, and it's going to be the same time from 10 to 11:30. That's our Zoom call that we do every first Saturday, but because the first Saturday was 4th of July, so we're doing it on the second Saturday. So that's what we're doing on this Saturday. So tune in 10, 11:30. And after that, we have another event that we're going to be attending. I don't have all the information, but tune in to us on this Saturday, okay? And you're going to want to know that I know Miss Davis is going to have something added to that sound mind that she's got. I know she's got something up her sleeve, right?
I always have something up my sleeve.
Always have something good. All right,
but
so guys.
I'll start event for S.A.F.E Communities. We are always inviting everyone. It's our coffee with S.A.F.E Communities.
Oh, yes.
It is every first Tuesday of every month.
Yes.
We are faithfully at the office.
Yes.
And we're always welcoming entrepreneurs, startup companies that are already established, whether they're small, medium, or large business, to come enjoy the coffee with us, tea and cake. If you are celebrating your birthday during the month, that's what we do.
Also, if you need your blood pressure taken, okay, and we're partnered with the Men's Health and Wellness, and they will be doing blood pressure every day. We have coffee, they will be doing blood pressure. So it's important to know your blood pressure, even though our mine is high. But anyway, come enjoy with us. We have a wonderful time. It's networking. We're coming together, learning about each other's business and how we can help each other. That's so important, how we can help each other. Okay, you guys, you want to close out anything you want to say? If we want to close out the segment?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
If you're an employer needing employees, whether it's seasonal, small project, big project in our city, Houston, Texas, or outside of the city and state, contact us. We're always looking to partner with companies. We work with people that have clean backgrounds, misdemeanors, and felons. We work with the prison system, with shelters. We are here to be able to bring stability to many people's lives, as well as grow with employers. So keep us in mind at Sunshine Personnel Solutions. Our website is www.sunshinepersonnelsolutions.com, as well as my direct number is 832-863-1090. And we will post the information as well on our newsletter. If you are not receiving Sunshine's newsletter, please let us know. We have great information. It's not only about the staffing and HR that we provide, but it's also about amazing opportunities with different employers, different opportunities that you can partner up with, and of course with S.A.F.E Communities. So once again, Sunshine Rodriguez here with Sunshine Personnel Solutions.
Okay.
And then here, I'm Helen Harper Davis with Agape Substance Abuse Program. We are here in the Houston area, down in Hobby Airport, but we actually are all over if you do virtual, because we do offer virtual substance abuse services. There's a huge need for substance abuse support in our communities. Yes. And Agape has been here since 2017, providing outpatient intensive and supportive outpatient substance abuse services here in the Houston area. So please reach out to us at agapeprogram.org, or you can call us, our office, at 713-533-8730 to schedule your appointment. And also, we have state funding. So if you're eligible, you can receive state funding for your treatment if you're serious about addressing your addiction. Additionally, we have Special Kids Incorporated, who's also near the Hobby Airport ever, but we serve all the communities. We actually are in schools across this Houston area to provide and support for families who have children with disabilities, and actually teaching them how to advocate for the rights of their children. And then we also do special events where we'll invite parents and their children to come, because we're trying to reduce the stigma of having a child with a disability, reduce the isolation that's associated with families who have children with disabilities, and also to help our children to live the fullest life that they can live, regardless of their ability or disability. So please reach out to Special Kids Incorporated. Our number is area code 713-783-5437. We're again here to help this community, so please don't hesitate. Also, be sure to catch us on our monthly parent training and support group meeting. See you soon.
All righty. And as you say, you always know how to get in contact with S.A.F E Communities. That is www.safe4community.org, and all the information there. We're looking forward to seeing you guys on July 18th, 2026 from 11 to 2:30, supporting our students. And we always say at the end of the show, this is what we do, okay? Mary Bear, you ready?
Of course. I'm always ready.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us today, and Sunshine loves you.
Okay.
Thank you for being a big part of what we do here at Special Kids Incorporated and Agape Programs. Loves you.
All righty. S.A.F Diversity love you. I got to say that again. S.A.F Communities love you. Sometimes that sticks in your head, right? It's been so long. S.A.F Community love you. ACN loves you. And before we always close the show, we'd like to thank Mr. Mike Kahn from the bottom of our hearts, because he made this possible for us to be here, to have this platform with our podcast, to be able to reach out into the communities, to support our organization, to raise funds, to send our kids to college and keep them in college. So that's very, very important. And I just want to say before we end, I say, tell somebody you love them. Smile and say good morning, good evening, whatever. Because like I said, every smile is not a good smile. Every smile is not a good smile. Remember that. Remember, people are suffering in silence. It's called hidden mental health. So tell somebody you love them, right? I just want to say again, y'all ready? We love you. Hey, it ain't nothing you can do about it. Hey, have a wonderful and blessed day. We love you. See you same time, same place next Wednesday. Bye-bye.